different component anyways. What does this say? This, okay. Doesn't tell me anything. This tells me we have 7 free internal ones, and then we have to have 3 external ones. We have more than 3 externals. You only need 3 with that because it says 7. What? Heat sinks aren't my issue. That makes more sense to me. Too many jump jets. Oh, it's only allowed 3 jump jets. Ah. Thanks. Surprised they let me drag it in. Okay. Oh, because the heat sinks, the number of jump jets went down with the engine? Is that a stat written on there somewhere? Could, in fact, put another weapon in here. Oh, we're just kind of just playing with ourselves on this thing, though, aren't we? Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Yeah, we will put the 400 back on in a minute. I'm just looking at this. Okay, so this is, we can go back up. What would the heat efficiency be of this? How many times before we shut ourselves down? Heat sinking 57, alpha striking 80. So and the jump jets are gonna crush us. Average jump heat says only 6, but I don't know if I buy that. I think the jumps are a lot higher than that. That's so close to being awesome. It only takes, I mean, we could do it. Oh no. All right, what if I put the engine core back in? Cost me 100,000 to install an engine. Massively overweight with that, but does it allow, that does allow 4 heat sinks. So what was the jump range lost from this? If we went to the 180, the 180 brought us to jump range of what? Max jump 120 from 150. Now that might not matter some of the time, but it might also. Wait, it didn't go. We didn't go down 150, so we're missing one of our pieces. Okay. You were at 150 plus 45, now 120 plus 36. So we lose quite a bit of efficient. Thank you, reason, please. Okay. All right. So which of these changes are probably fantasy for the time being? Probably the probably that going in for now is fantasy because we don't have the stuff for it. We added something else weight-wise, which I don't recall. Probably heat sinks, right? All right. Although we may want some of them back too. We can do that and dump heat 57. So we're looking at 15 heat around, maybe 23 if we're jumping. And shutdown presumably isn't at 100 heat anymore. Presumably it's 125% heat. Or 115% heat anyways. Okay. Can you fit a regular medium laser in the head and squeeze another heat sink? Can get another medium laser in there. Causes less heat than the medium pulse, but we're looking for killing people directly. I mean, we're starting to see our performance go further the other direction. We're now 27 heat around. Also up to 8 days to install that. Wait, what is this shit? I want it to revert. This doesn't revert. This took everything off. It's not. That's not what reverting means, bro. That was strip. Do you want to exit and discard all and save changes? Confirm. Okay. Okay. So I think we're going to do it in parts is the answer to that. We're going to eventually build towards that build we were just looking at, but we need to do it in parts. It costs you nothing to remove stuff in terms of time. I'm okay with this arm being 69 and this arm being 80. We'll probably take the remainder. Although I think this will round to 70. 60 bucks in a day for that. Revert. Okay. All right. So the stuff we're gonna do now for this is add jump jets and add the wings. Partial wing system go. Add the jumps. So we need 4 of these. We're gonna pull one of these heat sinks. The partial wing gives me a heat sink, right? Gives me 3 heat sinks. So it's 1, 2, 3. We're gonna add the jumps. Okay. We're gonna pull this small laser for now. What is the small laser damage efficiency? Damage of 15, heat of 8. Medium laser is damage of 20, heat of 9. Yeah, that small laser seems kind of shit right now. Yeah. And from this, we're going to probably put the ferrofibrous on. It's kind of appreciating the armor reduction. It does cost us more to repair. This is our frontliner. We may think about that a second, but we're overweight. We kind of need the weight reduction. I don't want to go down in armor. So let's do that. Too much tonnage still. And there was something else we were doing for cooling, right? We had a heat bank we were going to put in. This is at 5 days. Heat bank was the equivalent of 1 heat sink, right? It takes 2 slots. So it actually probably needs to be here. And pull one of these heat sinks. Kind of would like the heat bank on that side. Not sure. Okay. So that was pretty good. This is 6 days build. We're a little tiny bit overweight. We can fix that by pulling out either another heat sink or changing the armor distribution a little bit. Like I could bring the leg armor down. Wonder how many of these I can do without adding another day. And I wonder if it calculates. It's displaying as a day. Does anyone know if it calculates in increments smaller than a day? Do I min-max by going 5 hours and 59 minutes worth of work and then it charges me for 5 days, or is it just like extra hours? So if you look, I get 1, 2, what was it? We're at 100, right? So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 4 armor moves before it goes up a day. But is it calculated in hours or not? All right, anyways, we need to repair this. So this needs to go up at least to 100. That's 2, 3. And that's too much weight, of course. That could give me a day. It's weird that it takes time to strip armor off. I do wish to go down in armor. I don't really want to go down in a heat sink, although it's pushing me that way. Currently generating 72 heat around with 60 heat sinking, which is pretty damn good. Up 12 per, get 8 rounds out of that. That seems like a lot. Pulling 1 might be okay. Although realistically jumping each round adds a lot too. Take off a medium laser. What do you think this is? Taking off medium lasers. Alright. Let's fill a little bit more armor in here. Wait, why is it tons not even? Because that's 69 is there. Like that. Okay. You don't have to cool off for a few turns. Okay, I think this is the changes we'll make for now. This is 7 days worth of work. We only have 8 days to do it. It's not a perfect refit. I'm not content with the amount of armor on it. There's too much armor on the arms, and that's fine. Too much armor on the legs. These are deliberately not balanced armor amounts, but that's fine because I want this to end up around 90, and I want this one to lose a bit more. So I think this is okay. Well, frontline for what we have right now. It's not eventually going to be a frontliner. This is the jump behind them, kill them shit. That's the goal. Okay, this is fine. This incorporates all of our new technology, buffs up the guy that's already good, which is a little bit unfortunate. It does lower our alpha damage just very slightly while making us a hell of a lot more maneuverable, which I'm pleased with. Okay, so we'll confirm this for 7 days. Okay. All right. Alright, and then we want to manage our tasks here. We're going to put the repair of the spider in. No, we're going to make the hunchback be first. Okay. I'd like to do some other refitting, but we don't have time for it in terms of where we're going. So let's go ahead and accept the contract to go to that new location. I think that's doable right now. I don't know. Alright. Let's not lose that progress. And then let's go ahead and try the... Let's assume that they know what they're doing with this the mission. Command center. The mission was... Dude, I'm a little scared about a 1.5 right now, but that might have just been a freak of nature, the one we got. Alright, negotiate for this. Where's our budget? Finances. Operating costs. Is this how much we lose? Operating costs, salary costs, finances per month are 484,000. Almost okay. So that's how much we're paying total right now. Okay. So we are gonna need some money out of this, but presumably we can sell. Although we didn't sell any mech cores out of this. But let's go. We'll go to this. Not navigation.
Hello, Commander. Good to see you.
Shh. Command center. Let's do it. Hostile acquisitions. Negotiates against the government. Seems fine. Let's pump it up to 3 and 200K. Accept it. And gives us travel as part of it. We'll do it. And let's go. A galaxy at war. The great houses of the inner sphere will not simply wait for a wedding invitation to show their disdain for each other. To that end, war will break out as petty bickering turns into an all-out conflict. Your reputation with the factions is key. The more they like you, the more they'll bring you to the front lines and the greater the rewards. Perhaps an enterprising mercenary might make their fortune changing the tides of battle and helping a faction dominate the inner sphere. New features in a galaxy at war. Each planet generates attack resources and defensive resources that they will constantly spending to spread their influence and protect their own systems. Planetary resources and faction influence can be seen on the star map by hovering over any system. Successfully completing missions will swing the influence towards the faction granting the contract. Target acquisition missions and attack and defend missions will give a permanent bonus to the winning faction's attack resources and a permanent deduction to the losing faction's defensive resources. If you accept the travel contract, the faction will blockade the system for 30 days. A bonus will be granted for every mission you complete within that system during that time. If you accept the travel contract, the faction will blockade the system. So we're stuck in that system for 30 days. Pirates are active and reduce the resources in a system. High pirate activity will be highlighted in red. I don't know what semi are. We'll flag the systems in purple on this. That may be a person. We'll flag the systems in purple on the star map that are most valuable local targets. We'll also highlight systems in yellow that have changed ownership. Hitting Control R will bring up a summary of the faction's relationships. Okay. Highlight in purple on the the most valuable systems. Are we by chance going to those? No. We're flying past them. Why is this the most valuable, do you think? Because it has a shit ton of resources. That one has a lot of resources. Okay. The only other thing we should do before we leave system is if we're going to build, if it was 18-day travel and we only have 8 days set up right now, I thought for some reason we had, we should also, we have further travel than I thought we were doing. I thought we only had 8 days. I don't know why I had 8 days in my head. We should sell some shit here. Okay. What could we sell? The only thing that sells for anything is the engine block. Okay. We were gonna use this somewhere, right? Because this was a decreased capacity engine. Might not matter though. If we want to make more changes before we get to the location, still be able to pay our people. Can we go negative funds? Probably pisses people off, huh? Let's just sell one of these for now. Okay. Yes, selling. Item cannot be purchased or sold while in transit. We're not in transit. I haven't hit go yet. I haven't unpaused the game. How can we be in transit? How am I even interacting with a local system? Alright, I mean, this is why we saved, so that's good at least. Alright. Alright, do our selling in system before then. Also, if we have 18 days from that transit time, we should finish fussing with that mech, right? Do we want to do any other change? We want to change some other mechs around. I want to get those sensor suites on. Maybe on that guy. Maybe not. Feels like he'll be probably close enough to hit most of his targets because he'll be able to see them with jump jets. Close air support covereth a multitude of sins. No disagreements there. All right. Okay. All right, chat. I'm going to take a very quick break here, grab some food, and then we'll continue on with this. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I know it's a little bit slow in the combat right now, but we are ramping up to figuring out what to do with our guys and learning a bunch of systems in real time, which takes some time. So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes here, guys.
Hey chat, is the C3 command unit that the C3 slave links to something that I have to equip, or is that something that's hypothetically on the ship we have? Like, is it like a connection to my ship kind of thing, or is it something different? And yeah, I'm almost done eating here. So the slave doesn't do anything without the command unit, and we don't have the command unit on any of our existing mechs. Is that correct? Chad, I'm afraid that when I play MechWarrior games, all roads lead to medium pulse laser boats, almost every time. I'm very tempted to pull everything off this guy and just put pulse lasers on him. All right, my apologies for the break, but needed my lunch, so here we are. I think I'm gonna pull that off of this guy though, even though it's cool. Put it on somebody else, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe it'll stay here. Since apparently chat has gone back and thinks now that it doesn't require a master unit here. Shares sensor information. Will remove the fog of war around their vision when a lance member moves. Yep. PPC is very heavy and weighs but I can't fit the medium missile launcher on here. So I do one of two things. I either put on 3 medium lasers, which is okay, but this is not a particularly tanky mech. This is a fairly low HP, 35-ton mech. Or I leave it as a long-range PPC carrier, which I think is okay. I may have some LRMs. Doesn't look like I immediately have LRMs. I could pull LRM 5s off, but with only 2 spots and 1 launcher, it's not very exciting. So I think I might just live with the fact this is currently a PPC boat, but stop putting, like, wasting my only endo steel in here seems insanely bad. Like, it's literally doubly as effective on something else. Would an LRM 10 fit? I'd have to buy one. I don't really want to buy any. I don't want to buy something as common as an LRM 10 right now. Yeah, I kind of want this on a smaller mech. If this guy is supposed to be sitting in the back line shooting ER PPCs, it feels like the C3 slave should be on a more scouty unit, not this guy. So I think I kind of want to go there and pump some armor into it, maybe. I'm not against sensor sniper, so this is something different. Accuracy bonus up to 1, increasing with range. Zoom accuracy increases every 300 meters. Thermal vision. So we have one of these. If you look at this, this is kind of interesting too. We've got a... Oh, that's a standard. Never mind. This one's the upgrade. Sensor basic. 5% sensors and 10% sight range. Yeah. Take that off. Basic sensors there. We could potentially run the comm suite one. I think I'm going to put that in the 55-ton mech. Don't know what this thing does. Allows the use of the Artemis 4 ammo cockpit fire control system, which provides basic targeting weapons. Doesn't tell me what it does, though. Oh, it allows me to use the Artemis 4 ammo. I don't know what Artemis 4 ammo is. Still crafting? Not quite. We're, kind of. We're setting up to move. Generic structure, generic armor, generic cooling, generic engine. Engine core 145. It's not super fast, but that's okay. It's got jump jets to move around. I think we are a little over on the heat. Heat sinking and alpha strike. Alpha strike is just the PPC causing 50. So I'd like to slap a couple more heat sinks on this, presumably. So I can fire the PPC every round. I mean, we're not going to overheat like that, but if we're jumping as well, we will suffer some issues. So maybe we slap on another 2 heat sinks. Does it matter where? Probably anywhere, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. If we put it in the arms, the arm gets blown off. I mean, that's fine because that's the only weapon. If the weapon goes, the arm goes. That's where all 4 of our laser slots are on that arm as well. Okay. So, all right, where's my heat sinks? We want 1 there, 1 there. Heat sinking now at 45 compared to 50. Should let us be fairly mobile while still doing that. It might be even overkill. I wouldn't mind a little bit more armor on this. Particularly frontal armor. This arm needs high rear armor. Goes to 60. Want this torso armored. Okay. Not super efficient use of this. Is that fine? Seems alright. Okay. Do I wish to stick this over here, the heat sinks, for later? I don't think so. I'd like to not have all my jump jets located in my legs, but oh well. Okay, 90, 80. 50, 60. No. Okay. Let's rock this. It's not super exciting, but whatever. I think we're doing what we were doing before, but without putting the scout equipment on it. We have 2 other scouts, so presumably we can use one of the other scouts for the scout equipment. This is a guy with the long-range PPC is never going to be the frontline unit. He's going to be looking for a position to launch his PPC from. Certainly doesn't have any fucking armor to stand and brawl. So, okay. Let's throw that in there. Alright. So we now have how many days of repairs going on right now? We've got 7, 8. Oh, no, that's the timeline. It's 1, 7, and 3. Let's move through that and work through our backlog of tasks right now. I want the Panther before the Spider, the Hunchback first, and then we'll plug in our last mech once we get moving. Was there anything? Oh, the only issue with that was there anything else we wanted to buy or sell before we left? I think there was. We were going to sell the engine mount, I think, because I need a little bit of cash here. So let's take care of that. Selling. Let's go get rid of the engine. Okay. Okay, a little bit of cash out of that, great. And then let's go back to our mech bay. Just try to put stuff in the cockpit since that's the last thing that goes, and it goes, the entire mech goes. Yep, no shit. But I deliberately took those out of the cockpit because I only have a limited number of those, and they're wasted on that particular guy. Although an accuracy one wouldn't be. All right, I think we're gonna start moving. Let's go then. Let's leave this system. The only reason would be if we had to buy a component like a heatsink or something. But I think we pulled heatsinks. No, we put heatsinks on there. We might not have exactly what we wanted for this guy. This guy is definitely going to take... Well, okay, let's look at refitting the line holder before we go. The only thing I have to really pay attention to is timing then. So the trip was 18 days. We have a timeline of 13 days, and our mechs are actually finishing at 7, 10, 11. Although we want to start another ship upgrade too. We need to probably sell more. How much is the next ship upgrade going to cost us? Maybe bought a little bit too much. It's the Argo. No, it's not. It's engineering. Having built the power system, we're looking for a second mech bay. Second mech bay costs 700,000. Okay. Could get something cheaper, but I would really like the second mech bay. Being able to move 2 mechs around at once really allows us to work with that. Or really allows us to work with moving a little bit faster. So maybe we take a look at the stores. Anything else we can sell? Come on. Maybe I could sell in the fucking Spider. I wonder if selling a mech right now is too much. Oh, they'll buy. This is buying. I want selling. They won't buy partials, it looks like. Equipment wise, not sure we have that much we can get rid of. We could sell this. This was a salvage piece, right? Wonder why it says its value is 750,000, but when it tells me to sell, it's only... Okay. I may miss this, but I don't have an Artemis 4 and I don't know what it is, so... Goodbye. Alright. And weapons. Picked up a plasma torch for a melee. I would like to actually melee at some point. I'm pretty unimpressed with small lasers. It's about all we could sell. What was it? 700,000 for that? I have one standard fusion engine. Do I need a standard fusion engine for anything? Sell partial parts via the mech bay components tab. Thank you. Can I sell directly from here? parts of a wasp. Does the finished part chat sell for proportionally what's more valuable, a full mech or the parts? In other words, does a component that's 1/5 of a mech sell for 1/5 of the mech's value, or does it give me a bigger boost when I combine them? This gives me 37k for that. It's pretty weak. I could get all 4 of them. Alright, I don't really care about the wasp portion. I might want a commando. I don't know. Alright, let's dump the wasp. I need the money. It's fine. Don't think I'm going to dump the Whitworth. We might get more of those. Presumably we're going to run some missions in my lifetime at some point. And then I'm trying to get to about 800,000 here is what I'm I don't know, we'll see what I'm roughly looking at, but let's sell just a little bit more. Probably, there's something that flagged my attention earlier. Maybe one of these probes. I'm not really planning on launching 2. Okay. And basic engine, and there's some weapon in here I didn't really fucking want. Yeah. No, the radical heatsink kit is something I'm kind of interested in. I don't want to give it up quite yet. It's 864. Okay, that's about where I want it to be. Okay, so let's get out of here. Let's leave the system. All right. Let us go ahead and accept this mission. So that was, this is progress. And then go. Okay. Navigation, engineering, barracks, command center, mech bay, engineering. Engineering? No. Navigation, no. Command center, yes. All right. We're going to accept your mission. Negotiate. You're going to give us salvage. We're going to need a little bit of cash. But I believe. Okay.
Roger that, Commander. Course
Let us
marked.
begin. We already read that. Okay. Spend some time. Okay.
That work order is complete, boss. Top-notch work, if I may say so.
In the morning briefing, Darius addresses a concern that's become all too common of late. The crew and its pilots have been going a little stir-crazy. Perhaps they could use a little R&R. You could buy some books and data pads. Sumire squints at the XO's suggestion. How about we have a party instead? Dr. Merritt adds brightly, or we could just work them harder. They do say that idle hands are the devil's playground. She may or may not be serious. All right, I can distribute some books and data pads for 1,000. I don't really want to spend 10,000 on this. Presumably this is equivalent, or rather, apparently we're probably buying morale. I don't know what the value of morale is. Fine, we'll throw a fucking party. Let's see what it is. It was a pretty big morale boost. Morale increased by 10, you lose 10,000, sure. It's not hard to find an unoccupied corner of the Argo big enough to lay out a spread of food and an impromptu dance floor. Although the mercenaries are from all corners of the periphery and the inner sphere, drink and music manage to bridge differences, and a good time is had by all. Does feel like a decent amount of morale for that. All right, we'll move forward. We're not going to move forward. We're going to build our engineering, start the next piece. I want the second mech bay.
Sure thing.
Purchase that.
It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
Okay, we bankrupt in 20 days. Okay, well, let's hope there's fucking missions where we go. All right, back to space.
Job's done, Commander.
All right, our mechs are done being messed with. Let's keep messing with them.
Hey, Commander. Be with you in a second.
In particular, we want to mess with the line holder. And one of our scout mechs needs to have the scouting equipment attached to it. All right. So this guy is currently a multifunctional mid and long range with the ER lasers and the LRMs with the then medium pulses and I think that's it actually, medium pulses. I'm not overly excited by it right now. I'm not a huge fan of ER large lasers in general. I also kind of want to look at maybe getting that sensor suite in first. Yeah, well, or I don't know. I saw what they posted this morning. If they posted more, I haven't seen that. What was it? The spider that we're gonna outkit this with? This guy was a mech boat in the end. I almost think we should fit it on here. The hunchback again. So if we were to run by the way, interesting that we're running ferrofibrous on this guy. Minus 12% armor weight. I wonder if it would have been better to have run something like endosteel on that. What would it do? Oh wait, this is a structural component. What did this take? It takes 15. No, it doesn't. It takes 14. This is 49. It would actually free up more weight swapping the ferrofibrous out for endosteel. Interesting. Also, much less penalizing for our frontliner, since the increased cost is to structure repair but not to armor repair. Whereas the cost is fucking expensive to pull that out, though. Holy shit. It's kind of annoying. If I had known the endosteel was when we installed the ferrofibrous as part of the build, I didn't know we had endosteel on the mech. I looked at the other mech's build after. Can I run both? I don't have the components right now to run, or the slots to run both. Is actually the limiting factor. Well, we're gonna up this guy's armor at some point. We're just not quite there yet. Anyways, I think we're gonna comm suite this one.
Filthy hype.
Thank you, Zach. Welcome back, man. Appreciate the resub. 16 months of subbing. All right, so we throw in the plus resolve plus what does tactics do again? All right, one thing at a time. I want to look at the barracks. Look at a dude. Look at tactics. Tactics is initiative, reduce hesitation, improved indirect fire. Minimum range penalties. It does feel like tactics is probably wanted then on long range dudes. Helps my sensors rolls and initiative. Doesn't actually say anything about sensor rolls. Although the sensor article we have up said that unit sensor range, a random modifier, and target sensor signature. It doesn't say a goddamn thing about tactics impacting that I see. Passive modifiers. It does say the tactics skill there as a positive modifier further down. Not seeing where, by how much it modifies. Yeah. But, okay. Mech Bay. We got a couple days to kill while we're traveling through space. We want to get these guys as refitted as possible during that time. In particular, we want to get like long-term things. Like this guy being quick is useful. I think, I'm not sure what it matters with for. Do we put the endosteel on? Gives him a bunch more weight. Oh, I can't. I need 15 slots. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. We're nowhere near 15 slots either. So that just isn't going to happen. We're not going to be able to fit them both in with all the stuff already on them. Okay. Resolve and tactics for this. Then presumably we want all of this on the same thing. This is cockpit. This is sensors. That's sensors. There's 2 of these. Are they the same thing? Increase sensor range, increase sight range. Stacking bonus of 2. ECM jammer reduces enemy sensor checks by 2 in range. Jammer bubble, 190 media radius for jammer effects, blue circle. Sensors powered. Where do we care about the jamming? The jamming presumably wants to be closer to the enemy then. So sensor sniper and comm suite could be on our most mobile unit. And then sensors powered could be on one of the back rank ones that are just gonna be shooting. Yeah. Why wouldn't you put jump jets on everything? It's the easiest way to get your guys killed. Yeah, good question. And then this, oh, what the fuck did the C3 slave did? Okay, we should get our, whatever our scout mech's gonna be. Presumably the spider, because the spider's probably a little bit better than the other one at 30 tons as opposed to 20. Am I really gonna load up a fucking little shitty spider with a bunch of good stuff? I'm not totally convinced that's the brightest of moves. But let's say we did. Resolve. Jamming. And then C3 unit, C3 aura. Makes enemies easier to spot in the aura. Okay, this is definitely what we want to build, is the scout here. Throw in the C3 slave and throw in the beagle probe if we can. Can we just fucking strip weapons from this and make this guy like a true spotter? We got rid of the engine, which is unfortunately one of the ways the engine exchange we could have had. Maybe what we should have done is queued this up like that, dropped the engine and sold it in the last system. Can I see its... Is there a stat somewhere that tells me it's basically its sensor stuff? Probably not, huh? I have to look at that manually. This is better than brawling with this stupid thing, right? No weapon at all is a bit sketchy. This is close on weight. %, increased sensor range, 15% increased sight range, active sensor probes. And then this shares his information with other people, right? Yeah. When linked to a C3 command unit, it can share targeting information with all the units linked into the network. Are my other guys linked in with the network or no? So is this guy spotting with this unit, or am I putting this unit on the guys who want to get the spotting information? Flavor text can be ignored for every item. Okay, so I need to know what the fuck that item does. Maybe the Roguetech wiki will have something. Equipment. Alright, Roguetech wiki equipment. Armor, heat sinks, engines. C3 equipment makes it easier for your lance mace to detect targets and provides other buffs. Alright, I'm going to assume that does what the wiki says it does. Makes it easier for my lance mates to get some benefit. Alright. So we need to make it a little bit less tonnage here. I really would love to strip that engine down. I don't have another engine core. Well, I might. I maybe could take the engine core. It's expensive to switch to engine core, right? I think I maybe could take the engine core out of the spider. Oh, that's a lot of armor. Do I have to repair arms? Don't need a heat sink, but it's part of the engine. I have 8 jump jets. Can't afford another core. All right. What a tanky little mech. Perfect. Confirm. 4 days. The pilot of this vehicle is going to be very sad. Why am I running comm suite in here? Yeah, but the heatsink, I already mentioned the heatsink. It has to do with the way the engines work in this mod. So I can't remove it. It weighs 0 anyway, so it doesn't make any difference. Watch. It's part of the engine. All right. Because why not run a comm suite in here? Because the comm suite seems very valuable. Anyways, this is fine. Mech not ready for battle. Missing weapons. You may confirm your changes. However, the following issues must be fixed before the mech can be fielded. The mech must mount at least 1 functional weapon. Screw you, game. I don't want to mount a functional weapon. Just cost me fucking... Rip armor.